Hello and welcome to another adventure. It's about 7:30 in the evening and I'm off on a bit of a wild camp, so I'm just going to pop in here and get some fuel first though. And probably the most essential supply I need tonight. Right, fuel first, back in a minute. Right, now for the essential supplies. There we go, that'll do. Alrighty. Yeah, so I'm on for a bit of a mini adventure tonight. Woolpit Church there, looking quite splendid. Yeah, mini adventure. I'm just going to do a bit of wild camping, and I've fitted some auxiliary lights on the bike here, ready for a rally in March, Sweet Lamb Adventure Rally. And there's a night stage on that, so I've fitted some auxiliary lights just for that really, and they're only going to be, you know, a sort of quick release system. They're not staying on there permanently because I think they look pretty awful, but they do a job. So I need to test those out, make sure they're going to do the job and work okay. Doesn't he know Christmas as well long since gone? Yeah, so I need to test the lights out. I bought a new little tent. Can't see a bloody thing. I bought a new little tent, probably about a year ago, but I've just not had a chance to use it, so I just want to test that out. It's like a little stealth camping tent, and a couple of other little bits I've got. I mean, I hope you're seeing this because I've not used my GoPro in the dark before, and I've no idea what you're getting and whether you can see or hear any of this. Let's hope so, otherwise it's a bit of a waste of time. Right, so we're going up here. Yeah, so I'm obviously on my own, so I'm going to take it pretty steady, and you know, the last thing I want to do is come off. I mean, that's not too bad. Actually, once you stand up, it's, I don't know, the light seems a little bit better, but it's still pretty crap. Oh wow, you can see the damage the 4x4s have done up here. Yeah, this is fairly recent. Okay, so I'm just going to stop here. Okay, so that's the standard light, that's the dipped beam, and you can see you've got this sort of Yoda's head, I think it looks like, sort of head and two ears, and I mean that's pretty shite. And then if I flick the main beam on, it does throw a bit further down the lane, but you know, it's not massively better. So dipped, main beam. So I'm going to leave it on dipped, and then this is the auxiliary lights. Yeah, so that's beam 1, and then that's beam 2. So that's quite low there. I've not adjusted them yet, so that's the other reason for the trip. There we go. So that one probably wants to be about there. Yeah, and that one's all right there. Maybe a little bit more to the left. Ugh, I've done them up quite tight. Okay, so yeah, so off, on, off, on. Yeah, big difference. So one of the genius things that Honda did with this bike, so this is the CRF450L, they put in a much higher capacity stator. So I think the 450X is something like a 50 watt stator, where this is a 140 watt stator. So it's got the power to power some decent lights, although I've not kicked the ring out of it. That said, I think the pair of them's 80 watts. But I don't want them on all the time. I just want them, on odd occasion if I know I'm going to go out and do something. Yeah, so that one definitely just needs to go more to the left. There we go. That's better. Right, let's have a ride. Let's give them a test. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's a useful, usable light. It's not just something that's, a light that is hardly making any difference. Like most fog lights on cars, I think they're pretty useless. Whereas that seems to me to be a good, usable light. Yeah, so as I sit here now, look, I mean, that's without. Let's do a bit without. I'll put the main beam on, but it doesn't make a massive difference. It's very dry up here. We've hardly had any rain the last few weeks. So that's without, and then with. Without, with. Yeah, huge difference. Yeah, I'd say that's the result. Time's getting on. I suppose I ought to find a camping spot somewhere now, so yeah, onwards. I've got a Nepalese curry to look forward to. Can't wait. Okay, so I find myself a nice quiet little spot. It's nice and flat and not boggy. So it'd be a nice little camp area, I think. Yeah, right in the middle of nowhere. Well out of everyone's way. So I suppose the first thing is get the tent up and then get the curry on. This is a little new treat to myself for this trip, is this little battery powered inflator. So instead of having to use the you get like a sack to blow up the thermarest, because you shouldn't blow these up with your own breath, because they can cause mold inside the mattress. So you either have to use this sort of sack that comes with it, that you sort of gather the air and then force it into the mattress, or Google thermarest and have a look if you're interested. But anyway, so I treated myself to this little pump. That should blow up the mattress. Yeah, steadily inflating. You don't want them too hard. That's a big mistake people make, is they blow them up too much. Okay, that's plenty. Yeah, that's plenty. I mean, just look at that size of it. It's just takes up no room in the bag whatsoever. And apparently you'll get about 9 inflations from one charged battery. So yeah, that was a definite. That's a definite keep for 22 quid, 23 quid I think it was from Amazon. I'll put a link in the description. Top tip, fluff up the down, because it all gets compact in the bag. So just fluff it up. I'll just show you inside, but it's quite compact inside. So there's going to be a little bit of headroom up there for some gear. And then, oh, I don't know what you're going to see down there, but yeah. Anyway, so yeah, so we just got the stove on now. Just oh, we did have the stove on. Okay, so we've got this army rat pack Nepalese curry for dinner with some rice. Water's obviously now boiling away, so let's get that in there. Good morning. You're joining me just as I've just got the twig stove going, so I'm just about to get these sausages on. I've got a decent flame now, so let's get them on. The most important part of any wild camping trip is the food. They won't take long. So I had a really good night last night. I mean, it was definitely quiet, not a breath of wind, just the odd plane flying over. and the odd owl hooting in the trees. But apart from that, I mean, we did have a bit of frost. It's quite cold. I reckon it must have been about -2 this morning. Yeah, it's fairly frosty, but I was plenty warm enough in there. I mean, I've got a really good sleeping bag that's good down to about -6, I think. So yeah, and it was nowhere near that cold. Yeah. So for now, let's get this food on. Twig stove is roaring away. Oh, they look tasty. It's warm on that stove. I really like this this twig stove, because generally you've got a free source of fuel. So as long as you use nice and dry freestanding wood as you're searching for bits of twig you can use, as long as it's nice and dry, then you're always going to get a decent flame. And obviously there's man's primeval instinct that kicks in with a bit of a fire. We all love a fire.
Growl, I have a big sausage I get for me heritage, so I try to give him at a Christmas party. The sausage is big and long, almost touching on the ground. Amy said it was really sweet when she started to eat.
Okay, just a quick talk through the equipment that I bought with me just for this this one nighter. So I actually splashed out really and bought a bit more kit than I would normally. So I bought the camp chair because I wasn't sure if there's going to be anywhere to sit, and obviously when it's, you know, it's going to be really cold, sitting on the floor can soon get a bit boring. So yeah, so I bought the camp chair, which was good because I've sat there this morning having my breakfast, and then the twig stove that you've already seen. I mean, that's a great little bit of kit, that twig stove, because it packs down into that little bag. And I always bring a foil container with me, and put the stove in there, and I've extinguished all the embers, just poured a bit of water on them and just leave them in there a minute just to make sure it has definitely all gone out. Yeah, so I bought the twig stove, but I did bring my traditional stove. And so this is a tent. So it's a Fox 1, P-H-O-X-X, Fox 1 from Go Outdoors. I think they were about 100 quid originally, but I'm sure I only paid 50 quid for it in a sale. And then it's a great little stealth camping tent. So you can see there's not a lot of room, but there's enough. It's better than being in a bivvy bag. Condensation inside wasn't too bad this morning, but it was really cold. Now there's a little bit of room down there, so you could get a few bits of kit in there. I had my boots in there, and then I've got my helmet up the top end there, but apart from that it's pretty tight. Look, there's not a lot of room, but it's more than adequate enough. Yeah, so I've got a Rab Mythic sleeping bag, which is good to about -6, and I was toasty in that, really warm. And then the Thermarest X-Therm, Neo Air X-Therm, which has got an R rating of over 6. I think it's one of the best out there for winter use, and I was toasty last night and really comfortable. Not a problem with that. The other thing I like about this Fox 1 tent is the fly sheet is separate, so it's better for packing, you know, if it's damp, but also in summer you can take the fly sheet off and then just use the base part of it as a sort of mozzie net, you know, if it's nice and it's summer, or maybe if you're tarp camping. Yeah, it's a good little tent for 50 quid, you know, you couldn't argue. I also brought with me a large dry bag. That's just so any spare kit I had that I couldn't fit in there. So you can see that's quite a big dry bag. So in in there through the night. I had my day sack and I had my body armour, and the rest of the stuff I put in the hemisphere bag on my bike, and my jacket and trousers I had as a pillow in the tent. Okay, so yeah, it's been a great little camp actually, so I'm going to pack up now and make my way home, maybe stop and do a bit of filming on the way, but yeah, it's been smashing. See you in a bit. Yeah, these are those Decathlon gloves I was talking about in my last video, and they were really good. I mean, it's probably still below 0 at the minute. Yeah, but they were good. Okay, so just last check before we go. Leave only footprints and all that. Right, let's take the puck. Right, I think we're ready. Wow, seems really frosty out here. It's a glorious day for it though. That was a nice little trip. I really enjoyed that. Perfect weather for it. Not a breath of wind last night, which always helps when you're in a tent because it's just so much quieter. I don't like sleeping with earplugs in. Oh, the 4x4s have done some right damage down here. It's still quite icy, you're going to have to be careful when I get on the road. Yeah, and I'm happy with the lights. I think they've done really well. Definite improvement on standard lights. I mean, anything was going to be better than nothing, but I think for the money, what I paid for them, about £60, and then the wiring harness was about 20 quid. Yeah, so not too much money, and they'll work a treat. Yeah, so these are the lights. I will do a full review on them eventually. All I had to do was make a little bracket up that's gone onto the Zeta handguards. That's just a little L bracket. Yeah, and there's a wiring harness, so all the wiring's in behind there, and then the harness comes with so there's a relay fuse, although I didn't use the fuse because I connected it into the auxiliary plug that comes with a 450L, good old Honda. So I've got to find a better switch because that's a bit crap, and I've made it so they're quick release, so I've got to sort it out yet, so I've just got some sort of quick connectors on there at the minute, but eventually I'll find something that's a bit better. I don't want them coming off in the rally. And essentially, just because it's just one bolt either side, they are quick release, they come off really quickly. The loom is just easily unthreadable. The switch comes off nice and quickly. Yeah, that'll work a treat. Well, thanks for coming along today for the ride. I hope you enjoyed it. Who doesn't love a quick little wild camp? And obviously a nice sausage butty as well. Yeah, I enjoyed it a lot. I do like a fresh camp, fresh winter camp. Good for the soul. It's my version of mindfulness. Anyway, thanks again. Hopefully see you on the trail soon. And join us again for another adventure. Bye for now.